Welcome to Rauta's post-workout rant. Now this is one of those opinion videos which I just kind of get pumped up with the training and then I come to video my opinions. This is actually one that got fired up with some comments related to our previous videos. Not so much about bad feedbacks towards us, but some of the interviews which kind of get edited. So this is about self-censoring, bands, censoring themselves, censorship in general, the bands not doing interviews because of curious opinions and whatnot. So I don't have any transcript here, I don't have anything kind of prepared, as you know my style. Hopefully this is straight talk about the very topic, censoring or censorship. Now, before I get into the talk, sip to that. Now, there has been a couple or maybe more band interviews on Rauta channel where bands have actually requested right after the interview or a few days later, something like that, that we should actually cut out some of their comments, answers and whatnot. Now, some of these are because the band or band member doesn't feel comfortable what's going on, whether it's about the lack of confidence with, replying to the questions, whether it's a kind of a hot potato thing, that is a topic that they are kind of not ready to discuss, they're not willing to discuss on the front of video or in an interview in general, or that they kind of got some second thoughts, when it comes to the questions and replies and whatnot. Maybe it is because they had a little bit of beer and later on kind of got to regret. We all been there, I guess. Having said something that quite doesn't feel right, after a while, after you've seen the raw version of the interview and whatnot. Well, I'm personally totally against censorship. I am a firm believer in free speech, free thoughts and all that stuff. Those who think that it's crap or wrong idea, well, I don't care. I think people should have the right to think whatever they feel like, say whatever they feel like and all that stuff. Of course, common sense comes into play in everyday discussions, whether it's about being individual or representative of a company or band or just whatever. But people still have, in my opinion, the right to do so. So there you go. So I don't believe in kind of a censorship either. Now, self-censorship is a slightly different thing, of course, because when an outsider censors some, opinions or answers or whatever, it becomes a kind of different thing. Then it's somebody using their right or force or power or whatever, might, to kind of override the other people, vouching for their opinions, saying whatever they're thinking or that. But when it's about kind of a self-censoring, then it's, of course, once again, comes right under the wing of, having the right to think whatever you want to, the right to say whatever you want to say and so forth. So this time I'm not talking about censorship in general that much. I'm more talking about the self-censorship, if that's the correct word here. When bands are actually, kind of trying to, say like, no, please take that away from the video. I cannot live with that or whatever. Now, out of pure kind of our respect and politeness, I don't want to name these bands that have actually asked us to remove some of their comments or opinions. Whether or not I like that, I kind of respect their will. And there was some comments about one particular interview that some of those comments, should have been there, because we actually uploaded a kind of a less edited version of the interview because I didn't got the email that actually said that please edit these and these parts away. I don't want to have them in the interview because of reasons X and Y. But I got it slightly late, and then the band kind of got pissed off to me calling us unprofessionals and whatnot. Well, I'm not a professional doing that. My day job is totally different thing, as you probably know. But that's a different thing. They were calling us, unprofessionals because we didn't remove the content they were requesting, and that it was kind of my mistake, or actually my email accounts mistake, because it kind of got lost in the way. I didn't actually remember whether it went to the trash, the spam folder. But later on I recovered the email and I was like, oh crap, now we have to fix this. And then we fixed it and I apologized to the band and blah blah blah. I hope everything was good after that, but the first impression is always the thing. And clearly there were some people who actually saw the raw unedited version where certain questions and answers that were not in the later version. Now, in my opinion, these questions were not that bad, nor were the replies. But however, when a band felt that they were saying something that they maybe should not have said it in the first place, then we have this kind of a situation when the band ends up in censoring themselves. Now, some people are of course curious what this kind of stuff is, so I try to explain without mentioning any names. For example, in this particular case, the band mentioned some other bands, not in so good way, but then again not dissing or anything like that, but something that might put these two bands in a crash course. And since these bands might end up seeing each other on same festivals and they have kind of a opposite opinions, the band didn't want that to happen because they don't want to create bad blood. I totally get it. That's kind of a common sense to not say those things. But then again, self-censoring one's opinions when there's not exactly anything really bad said, I feel it's kind of lame. And then there was this other band who wanted some opinions removed, maybe because he felt, this person in the band, he felt that some of these opinions or replies were kind of too personal, or maybe he just were not confident with them. Then there was this other one, third band, which actually was really cool to us as always, but there were some political questions, not bad ones, but nevertheless. And the band kind of felt, or the band member kind of felt that he doesn't want to have these opinions included because these are kind of the topics he doesn't feel like, have to go through in an interview. So once again, I totally understand, but what I don't understand is that why not being able to talk about these? I mean, like, it's not like somebody was, confessing a crime here. Like, I killed a guy, so, now I committed a crime and I said in an interview. God damn it. It's not like that. These were very, basic questions in a way. Politics or religions or personal opinions. And these kind of questions, in my opinion, could be easily just, answered, and, nobody would care not that much. But when the self-censorship kind of comes into play, it feels like, these bands have kind of, I don't know, something to hide in a way. It's kind of like a PR stunt, to polish your picture. And when these kind of rumors actually get, spread out or whatever, it kind of changes how people react to this band. Like, I don't know, if I was, bad-mouthing somebody, calling somebody names and blah, 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 and then trying to be totally different opinion here, and people would find out, it would just make me look like a total idiot, a clown, a liar, whatever. Now, I might be a clown, but that's a different story anyway. So the thing is, I am kind of Undecided. Whether it's better in the first place that these kind of bands don't do interviews, and especially video interviews, and the like, where all these, expressions, tones, and all that stuff, come into play. It's kind of like easy to see if somebody is kind of like nervous. You cannot read that if you're reading a website or old school, fanzine, interview in a paper, magazine, or whatever. You cannot necessarily hear it even on a radio interview. But usually, typically, because it's written, these kind of stuff, you don't get to see that. But when on video, it's a different game. And I kind of understand that some people don't want to do video interviews because they're not comfortable with the media, the chosen video media. Now, I'm not sure whether it's better or worse that these kind of bands don't, just do this. Because I've got, basically politely been declined, when I've asked certain underground bands to do video interview. They don't feel comfortable to, just do these kind of stuff. And I don't know whether it's about me possibly roasting them. It's not like that I do that, but nevertheless, or whether it's about, actually giving too much stuff here and then having the second thoughts and maybe the fear of, the censorship and editing and all that stuff. I don't know. But what I do like, what I do respect the most is when people are honest. I don't care if they don't like me or if they just, say opinions which are not to my liking. That's not the point. I'd rather take an honest opinion, like somebody's, telling me that, hey, you there, Rauta guy, you're asking stupid questions, you have stupid opinions, you have everything in stupid in you even look stupid. Okay, that's fine. It's maybe too personal in a way, but at least if that's being honest, that's kind of a better way than to, soften things up and then, be kind of lying about it. And also, when people say these opinions, whether it's about hot political thing or religious thing or whatever, these kind of really hot topics. Well, once again, I totally like honesty, and I guess many people will like that too. But when these bands or people representing the band are kind of censoring themselves, it feels wrong, it feels awkward, it feels like this is not good. But then again, they all have a right to do so. So it's kind of a hot thing. Like I said, I'm undecided whether it's a good or a bad thing. Now, I of course hope that when we do these interviews, we don't have to do so much editing. And I'm not talking about the basic editing. Of course, when we do a interview, we want to look nice and the voice levels and blah blah blah, the technical stuff just be well. Because not like my own opinion videos here in my garage gym. Well, these are hardly edited. And that same goes for the reviews as well. So when we don't do the interviews, I just hope we don't have to edit any opinions or answers, off just because someone doesn't exactly like what they are asked. But we have to respect that, or at least we choose to do so. But I have a question for you, dear viewers and subscribers and random people out there. What is your preference? Honesty, self-censorship, or no interview in the first place if no honest one is possible? Which one do you prefer? Is self-censorship totally okay? Is it a neutral thing? Is it a good thing? Is it something that just should be avoided? What do you think? Are you an honest person or the other way around? Thank you for watching, and as always, keep your comments coming. I don't know if this video made any sense to you. Hope it did, and if not, see you with the next video. Rauta out.